Hello. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to be doing a part one of probably the most requested video that I have ever received in the history of me being on the internet. So, I'm not going to do these big, long, crazy intro today. This is just a part one. As I said, we are going to talk about some of my tattoos, and I am just going to do my arms right now. This is a bit of a weird angle because I'm going to have to like stand up and move, and that's just, this is how we're doing it. Okay? Okay. I also have on my really cool Walmart shirt that says, "Let's get weird," and I got it from Walmart, and I love it so fucking much. Anyway, before we go ahead, I'm going to need you to stop. I'm going to need you to subscribe to my channel. Okay? Okay. Anyway, moving right along, we're going to go probably in the order in which I got these on my arms. So the first one that I ever got on my arm, my first visible tattoo, was this right here. It is a compass. Let me see if I can get up closer so you guys can see it better. There you go. This is a compass. You know, a lot of people ask me, like, what does the direction that it points mean? And honestly, it don't mean nothing. I got this after I had my daughter. I got some direction in my life, was basically my reason for wanting this, and I wanted it to be like a old school, like compass that like opened and closed, and get my little chains that hold my compass. And I really love this tattoo. My little blue swirls were super great. This is probably the first blue, like of this color blue, which I kind of have a lot of now, this light, like bright blue. And I got this tattoo in 2013, and she's great. She's held up really well. I've never had it touched up. I think she's holding up pretty decent for a tattoo. It's on my shoulder, and I wear long sleeves every day, so it's constantly like rubbed and warm. But that is my first tattoo I ever got on my arms. My second tattoo that I ever got on my arms is all the way down here, and that is this guy right here. I guess I just said go big or go home, and I got this on my, well, like the front of my arm like this, but because I'm double jointed, it almost like wraps around because my arms are, like I said, double jointed. Anyway, so we got this guy here. This tattoo I got, I believe, in 2000, either 13 or 14. I got a lot of tattoos in a really short time frame. I love flowers. I have 27 flowers on my body. I think 27. I don't know if I've gotten any flowers recently. I'll have to go look. Oh, 28. There's a lotus on my arm here that I forgot about. Anyway, so I got this tattoo. This one actually has pretty deep personal meanings with my little skull butterflies with their little bows. And I really love this tattoo. Also, never been touched up. I'm really bad at getting touch-ups. My current tattoo artist will tell you that himself, and he is so mad at me. Every time we go, he makes me get touch-ups on certain things because I'll go years and never touch up my tattoos, and then he gets mad. But this one has held up great too, being as old as it is. With there's lots of this, like, let me find a really good like ombre color right here. The artist that I used to go to constantly, she was actually fairly new, and she had been working on this like ombre color effect that she did all throughout this tattoo. It was a newer technique for her, and I think she did a really great job. And this is a pretty old, an old tattoo, and I love it. I did get this at the time. I needed it to be a specific way with a specific style. Because if you guys know anything about me, you know I have lots of reproductive issues, and I have had quite a few miscarriages, and at the time I had 6. So that's what my little girls on my arm were really to symbolize, and I wanted the flowers and everything to be like, you know, like it's like it's a sad thing, but I needed to see something like pretty. And anyway, I don't really want to get into that any further. It's just a really sad time in my life. But I love this tattoo so much. This flower here on my elbow is probably one of my favorite pieces I have on my entire body. I just love it so much. And I'm a little dry still. I put on some lotion for this, but I just have dry skin, as you guys know. But that is this guy here. I believe the next tattoo I got would jump back up to the top of my arm was my wraparound Sailor Jerry ship. The tattoo shop I used to go to, they did Sailor Jerry Day every year. If you don't know who that is, you should Google him. It's a tattoo artist that was super, super famous, old school guy. Anyway, and they would do these flash sheets every year, and it changed throughout the years, but I went every year, and you could pick out a piece of like Sailor Jerry art, and you got it at a discounted rate, but you had to wait in line all day, and they just made a day of it, and like it was a fixed price, but you could get whichever one you wanted. So I do have probably matching tattoos of the hundreds of people, but I really enjoyed this tradition. It was like my Christmas. I loved it so much. It was one of my favorite things, like genuinely, and it's still a really good memory for me because that is just a really important thing. Me and my best friend Tori would do this every year. We would go, and this was one that I got from there, and I will never forget somebody asking me about this tattoo. It was one of my friends back in the day, and it's a cut. And let me tell you, I never sound like philosophical and all cute or whatever, but he asked me, he was looking at it, and he was just like, well, why is the ship sinking? And my little emo self was like, because they always do. And he was like, what? And he just like looked at me crazy, and I was like, I am a genius. And I don't know, I genuinely enjoy this tattoo and the sinking ships in my house, and the ships are sinking because they always do. And then I used to be super emo and depressed, so there you go. Next on this arm, I believe the next thing I got was our dear old friend Boris Karloff here. This is actually the first tattoo that my current artist ever did on me. I wish I could find a better way to show this to where it doesn't look like warped and distorted from my arm moving, but this is my Boris Karloff portrait. I am a huge fan of like old school horror. We're also supposed to be adding to the blank spaces like back here on this arm. I also want to do like a wolf man, and then I need to do like a Bela Lugosi Dracula. And everything's a work in progress pretty much on my body. Like this whole arm is a work in progress. And so this is the first time I ever got tattooed by my current artist, and one of my dearest friends. His name is Anthony, and if you want to look up his work, it is Anthony Ink Co. on Instagram, and you guys should really check him out. He is incredible, and he is honestly like one of those people that like I'm glad that I know him, because he like brings something extra to my life. Like he's always been there for me, and like on a personal level, and he's one of my really good friends. When I met him, I saw some of his work. Oh god, I'm dying of thirst. I saw some of his work online, and I went to his shop that he owns, and he let me sit there and watch him tattoo for probably between 4 and 6 hours. I just sat there and watched him because I was really, I'm really like a loyal tattoo client, and I loved his work, but I needed to make sure like the vibe was for me. Like his process was something that I could trust. Like seeing him do like randomly come into a shop and watching him tattoo like one of his regular clients and see like how they like interacted and how the process went, and if he was like super shitty and like forced his ideas on people and all that stuff. And he did none of those things, and he was totally fine with me being there, and I just hung out with him, and I was like, cool, like I think you're awesome and I want to work together. So we came up with this piece, and it's nothing like super original. I'm sure a lot of people have fucking Frankenstein's monster tattooed on them, but I'm obsessed with when I say that Boris Karloff is like one of my faves, like I have big giant like blankets that are just like Frankenstein's monster portrayed by Boris Karloff, and I have like glassware that is a Frankenstein as well. Like my son drew my Mother's Day card was a big Frankenstein monster. Like that's just one of my favorites. It's the first book that I remember making me cry when I read it because I was just like, he is so misunderstood. And it really means a lot to me. It's also kind of a like nod to my father, who is also super into horror, really into like the classics. He really was a big fan of stuff like that. And also when he was a kid, that was something that he did, was like FX makeup, and he really liked to make like monster masks and scare people. And I don't know, he's the one that gave me the book, and I read it because he told me to, of Frankenstein's monster. And we really connected on that level because, without getting deeply personal, we have not always connected, me and my dad, but that is something that we could both connect on, is our love of all things spooky and gross and weird, and we were always very similar in that aspect. Also, this is just a silicone straw, because I know you guys just see this part and it's like, silicone straw. Got this from Amazon. I got a pack of like 10 of these for like $6, something super cheap. But anyway, moving on from that, I believe the next one I got on this arm was this guy. My little heart here. It is very traditional, very old school design, very reminiscent of like early tattoo styles, very like not just very traditional styling of like primary colors in the imagery. That's actually a really fun story. Me and my best friend Tori, we were going to Sailor Jerry Day as usual, and this year's the first year they did a gumball machine with, and they called it the Get What You Get machine, and it was like super cheap. It was like $50 or $60 something, and you could do the gumball machine, but the rules were whatever came out of the gumball machine, you had to have that tattooed on you, like period, or you're banned from the shop for life. Like that's it. Like they would, and they were so hardcore about this, like they would genuinely never let you come back to that tattoo shop. And it was, well, where I lived, it was the best and biggest and the most fun one. Like they did all the stuff, like they did events, and it was so cool. People like hung out there. So it, in the culture where I was living, like that would have been like a horrible thing for you to not, like for you to be banned from that tattoo shop. So we both did it. This is the one I got, and I loved it, and I was so excited to have it. She got a little girl's head that said like poison. It was really pretty, what she got as well. Some people got fucking devils and like a monkey like stretching open his butthole. Like people got some gross shit, okay, in there with some really gross and really like hilarious designs, but I got pretty lucky with that. And honestly, like this is my, like, you know, sometimes it's good to take a chance. If you guys, I'm a pretty type A personality. I have to plan everything. Like if I'm gonna do nothing, I need that to be a planned, I'm not doing anything today. I am such a crazy planner, and for me, anybody that knows me, or if you guys have been following me for a while, you would know this about me. I am very, like, everything must be planned. There is a reason for everything. I am not a fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl. I like to think I am, and I like to portray that sometimes, but I'm really not. Like, I'm really, like, if I'm going to do something wild, it is planned that today I'm going to be spontaneous, but I've planned that. So for me to do something like this was a really big step in my life, to be like, it really opened my eyes to a lot of things, because I was in kind of a shitty headspace and in a really bad relationship. This is probably 2014 or 15, and I really was in a bad spot in every aspect. And the fact that I took this chance and it really worked out, and it worked out into something that I love and I'm proud of, and I love this tattoo. I still love it. And I guess it has a much deeper meaning to me. It's like, look, you can take a chance. You can do something like completely crazy and risky, and it could turn into something fantastic that you love. And that honestly was it brought me so much, I don't know, clarity at the time in my life of, wow, like you can do things that you can't even imagine. Like you can get out of your shitty relationship, and you can leave, and you can do things that don't have to be planned, and it can turn out okay. So and I have plenty of tattoos that have no meaning at all, like whatsoever, but this one is not one of those. It started out that way, but it didn't stay that way. So moving on this arm, actually the next tattoo I got was on this arm, was my first pass of this very big jellyfish that I have tattooed right here on my arm. This is probably one of my longest sittings of a tattoo. I wish there was a way for me to show it that wasn't like you can only see pieces and parts of it. So she's a jellyfish, and a lot of this looks like it was done at a different time, because it was. Like this tattoo, we have been working on, me and my friend Anthony have been working on this tattoo for years and years, because we jumped around a lot. Like I didn't get all these tattoos like in the order of I just went down this arm. Like I have tattoos other places on my body and I jumped around with that, but I'm not going in the order which I got them on everywhere, just the order I got them on my arms, because I mean we're already at 15 minutes and I still have 2.5 to 3 to go on my arms alone. So we got a lot of time. I actually missed one because I forgot that I had it, and it's a really long story, so we're probably going to save it for the end. That's another thing. When you have a lot of tattoos, I forget about some of them. I forget that I have them. So with my jellyfish, this arm here is going to be one big cohesive piece that goes all the way up of jellyfish and then like space, and I just thought it was really pretty, and I love heavy black, like with you know, colors, and that's where all this blue that I was talking about that I have here, and I just fell in love with this blue, and I have it pretty much scattered all over my body with blues like this. This is a newer part. This jellyfish here, let me see if I can stand up. This jellyfish here I have had done 3 times. We have changed the colors of this jellyfish 3 times. 3. Because we changed what we're doing and changed the themes, because it's been like a 6-year work in progress on this half sleeve that we have been, I mean, we've changed the colors 3 times to make it match everything else and all the blues. So we added blues. The first time I got it done, it was mostly pink. The second time I got it done, it was mostly purple. And now it's mostly blue and orange. And I love it the way it is because it matches more of this big jelly. This is the latest thing I've had worked on. I had this worked on last time I was in Mississippi. And we filled in the gaps here. We reworked this whole jellyfish. And then we reworked a lot of this black. That's why it looks a lot darker than the rest of the tattoo, because the beginning of the tattoo up here is like 6 years old, and then this black is only a few months old. So we definitely try to reinforce the blacks when we go back through this. Like I said, it will go all the way up whenever I have time to actually work on it. My skin will take about 6-hour sessions at a time, and before it starts to breaking and like hamburger meat my skin. Because I am so fair. This tattoo has no meaning at all. I just love it. It makes me happy because it's a lot of, like, this is 20-something hours I've spent with one of my best friends in the world. So that is the big meaning for, like, me personally. I love it because I like the imagery, but I also like that I can look at it and be like, wow, like that, there are so many memories that go into just this one, like, panel of my arm with my friend Anthony, who does all my tattoos. And like, I can remember like our conversations and like the stuff we were going through at the time, that we were just sitting down working on it and just like talking through our lives, being like, man, this is what's going on in my life. Like, what do? I don't know. This is what's going on in my life. Let's talk about it. Like, I need advice. And that is hours and hours and hours of just like quality time with one of my best friends. And I love that so much that I have something like that. The most meaningful tattoo that I have on my arm is going to be last. I keep seeing it because it's on this arm as well. But it's going to have to go last because it's really sad. Like, the whole thing is sad. So we'll just move on to one of the newer ones. And that is this tattoo here. I got this matching with one of my brothers. It has lots of meaning. Like, it has a whole big thing that we found, because it's a lot of different religious symbols mixed together, but it's basically just like, you know, a pretty deep meaning between my brother and I. We have been through a lot together, like our everything. We've been through a lot, and we've remained very close. And we've always been each other's like support system, because we did not always have the best life. So that being said, I don't want to super elaborate on it because it's not just my story to tell. Like, it's my brother's involved too, and if he wants to talk about like some of the stuff we went through, then that's cool, but I don't want to put out his business into the world because it's not just my business, if that makes sense. But anyway, so it's like healing, prosperity, forgiveness, lots of cool stuff. And it did not, I got it tattooed at a random tattoo shop here in South Florida, and it did not hold up well at all, but I still really like it because if you can see, we're missing a bunch of ink like through this. We're missing a lot. It's probably one of the worst looking tattoos I have, like technically worse. And I was going to go get it touched up, but the shop got like bought. And it's another shop now, so I can't go get it touched up by the same guy that did it to be like, hey, like this is what happened. Maybe I had an allergic reaction because I do have an allergy to some tattoo inks and colors. Maybe I had a reaction and maybe that's why it looks like that. I don't know. But I guess I won't know because I can't go back to that artist because I don't know where he's at now. So cool. That's why it's really important to have a bond with the person that does your tattoos because they care about what it looks like on you because they know they'll have to see it again. They'll know that you'll be out in the world telling people that this is who did my tattoo, and they don't want it to be a shitty piece of shit, like an ugly tattoo that you're going to put their name on. You know? It's pretty important. Like, and I live in a touristy area, so people can get away, honest to God, can get away with doing these, like, shitty, half-ass tattoos because they will never see you again. And they know you probably don't know their fucking name. Sorry, I have an eyebrow here that's driving me insane. But they know that you don't know their name and that you'll never, that it's not going to look bad on them because they'll never see your ass again. And you probably don't even know where you went. And it's just vacation, so you're not doing anything that, like, you don't live there. But yeah, that's a story. But I got that with my brother, so I really enjoyed that. Now here at 20 minutes left, 20 minutes of filming, let's get into the one that is super meaningful. So I have this tattoo on my wrist, okay? I'm going to stand up again so you can get a better look at it. So this tattoo, it's upside down so I can see it, but I don't know how to show it to you guys without it. Okay, so it's pretty jumbled up. It is I do have an infinity knot. It is a really horribly done tattoo. The flowers around it were way like after the fact that I got the first tattoo. And then there's some blue highlights that were also after the fact. I got this tattoo in somebody's house. Don't do that. But when I was 20 years old, my best friend died. She had a tumor the size of a softball wrapped around her optic nerve. She had surgery to remove it. It was completely excised. Surgery was successful. That was fine. She woke up and we talked about it. This was my best friend from like childhood. Like my dad and her dad were best friends in high school, so we grew up together. This was like my sister. I called her parents mom and dad. She called my parents mom and dad. Like I lived with her dad for a while in college. She passed away unexpectedly because and maybe it wasn't unexpected to everyone, but it was very unexpected to me. I did not think that she was going to pass away. I was there with her, spent the night with her before the surgery, went to the hospital, stayed the whole time, was there the entire time, moved because I lived in a different city because I was going to college like 3 hours away. When she called me and told me about this, she was like, I need you to come home, and I said okay, and I packed up all my shit and I moved in with her dad because there was a huge possibility that once they removed this tumor, she would be blind. So, long story short, I will do a full story time about this if you'd like. But the long story short is that she did pass away. And I went out probably the same day to this guy that I knew that had a tattoo machine that he had like bought on Amazon. And he tattooed an infinity knot with the word love in it. That was... She passed away in 2012, I want to say. So actually, this was the first visible tattoo I had on my arm. Was it 2012? Yeah. I think it was just 2012 because it was January. Yep. Shit. Sucks. Sorry, anyway. So I had that done at somebody's house. And then I have her name, which was Tiffany, but I called her Tiff, and it was funny because she always laughed at me because I would always spell her name Tiff with one F. And I was just like, it's a nickname. Why are you adding extra letters if it's a nickname? But I had that tattooed the same day that she passed away. It was either the same day or the next day, because I didn't sleep ever pretty much after she passed away. So my days kind of run together. I slept none. I didn't. Anyway, so years later, probably 3 years later, on the anniversary of her death, I went and got these flowers added to it. They're my little cherry blossom flowers. They don't have an outline, and I had a really bad allergic reaction, so they're very light. I still really like the tattoo, though. It's still really pretty, but like that, as you can see, is super light and doesn't really have much of a shape anymore. But they're really old, and that's how I found out I'm allergic to certain pinks, was this tattoo, because it bubbled up like blisters and it looked really, really bad. But I mean, I took some Benadryl and it's fine now. But this is one of my, it's pretty meaningful to me because it's like taking flowers to her grave, except I can't go to her grave. I've only been once and it was not good. So I got, instead of putting flowers on her grave, I put flowers on her name as like a tribute to her on the year or two passing after she died. So you guys, that got real sad real fast. That is my tattoo tour of my arms. Eventually we'll do like my torso, my back, my legs, my feet. We'll do the rest of that at another day. This has already been a pretty long video. If you would like to hear a story time about Tiffany, let me know, because I don't mind talking about it in a different context. I don't really want to put her as an afterthought in a video. Like, that's not, it's not really what this was supposed to be. I did kind of forget I had that tattoo because I've had it for so long, but you know, it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You've been asking for it for so long. If you would like to, please. Oh, and also I don't have anything on my underneaths of my arms because it really hurts and I'm a fucking baby. If you would like to, you can go ahead and from the screen give this video a thumbs up. You can follow me on all my social medias. Follow my Instagram. Like, I don't know what's going on, but every time I turn around, like, I'll get like a surge and I'll get 1,000 followers, and then the next day they'll be gone. So I'm like, bitch, I'm losing followers every day and I don't know why. I think I post pretty good shit. Anyway, my Instagram is grungeXglitter. X at the end. Okay, go follow it now. Go do it. That's how you know when I'm going to upload videos, because I tell you on Instagram. That's how you keep up with my dogs, because I post them. That's how you keep up with my daily makeup looks, because I post every day on Instagram. Go follow my Instagram. And I also have a Snapchat and a Twitter at grungeXglitter, and I have a Facebook page at grungeandglitter-KP, and I love you guys so much. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite tattoo that I showed you? Do you have any that you think have really cool stories? Do you have any that you just got because you liked it? So let me know, you guys, and I will see you guys later.